welcome to this edition of Believers Talk with Joe and Steve. We are your hosts. I'm Joe.
I'm Steve.
And we're here today to talk to you about a couple more Buffalo Bills signings, right? So we're finally hearing a little more news, filling in those gaps that we had. So I don't know if you want to start us off with some of the signings we had.
Yeah. We had Philip Gaines, a cornerback from Kansas City, and he signed a one-year deal. And we also had a former Bill that we traded for last year, but released, come back, wide receiver Keenan Clay.
Okay.
As of right now, before these two moves, the Bills had about $15.8 million in cap space for the year. So these aren't going to be huge signings.
Right.
And that's with 68 players on the roster. That includes Eric Wood. So really it's 67.
Right. Yeah.
With this, they'll jump up to 69 players on the roster. And then we'll have to figure out the numbers on these. They haven't been released yet, but they're probably vet minimum deals. They'll need about $10 million in cap space this year for the draft picks. But out of that, the draft picks are only account for $5 to $6 million due to the top 51 salaries. So that's why you'll see the Bills kind of doing some one-year deals, vet minimum, filling out the depth, and next year we'll have a lot of cap space. They still have to deal with about $18 million in dead cap money this year, so that's why you're seeing some of these lower deals coming in.
Yeah, like we talked about depth. About these two positions. I mean, wide receiver we're not so sure about anymore with Zay Jones. We still don't know what's going on with that situation. I mean, that's kind of up in the air. With Gaines, he's a nice addition. Not as good as EJ Gaines, but we got another Gaines, right? So, so that kind of helps with our cornerback depth a little bit. I don't know if you want to talk about him.
Yeah, we did sign a Gaines.
Yeah,
not the Gaines that most Bills fans would like. EJ Gaines, he was a third-round pick out of Kansas City in 2014, so he's 4 years in the league. This will be his fifth year. He has played well at times. This past year was not that good of a year for him. He is better suited to be inside. He struggles when he's outside. So he'll probably be in competition for that slot role, depending if Leonard Johnson comes back. That's still a big if he's not back. If he's not back, I see Philip Gaines being that slot corner. He's 6'1". He ran a 4.38 40. So he's fast, he's agile, and that works well in the slot. With the cornerbacks on the roster now, just go down through these, and this is kind of how I rank them. Tre'Davious White would be obviously our number one corner. Vontae Davis, and then I would put Philip Gaines at 3. Lafayette Pitts would be after him, and then we have Beyond Borders, who's a special teams guy. Not even sure if he'll make the roster, but those top 4 probably will.
And like you said, Leonard Johnson's still out there. We might still re-sign him. And if that's the case, then this just adds to the depth, and that's something we talked about.
You have a veteran player. I mean, he's 26 years old, so it's not like he's really old. He's on a one-year deal, prove it kind of thing. So maybe you get a really good year out of him, like you did EJ Gaines last year. If Leonard Johnson does come back, then you have some competition for that slot. And then, if you go to 4 defensive backs, they have 4 receivers in, you have 2 capable slot corners there. So it benefits, and he also can play outside. So if an injury to Davis or White, gives him some versatility there a little bit. But it'll really benefit him being inside and then having Poyer and Hyde over top. So it doesn't worry me as much. As far as him being outside.
With Poyer and Hyde, 2 marquee safeties that we have. I mean, that really that lightens the load a lot on our cornerbacks to know, even for White and Davis, to know that those 2 are behind you, like backing you up.
And they're going to have the defensive secondary set. The coverages are going to be explained. It seems like they talk and communicate very well. And there's not too many times it's a blown coverage. Everybody's usually on the same page, which helps out with coverages.
And with McDermott's defense, very rarely are you going to that man scheme. So we're playing zone. So
a lot of us will cover 3 zones.
So that works out to our favor. So that's talking about the cornerback gains. So let's talk about a little bit about the wide receiver position that we signed. So I don't know if you want to talk to him a little bit.
Keenan Clay. So most Bills fans will know him. We traded away Kevon Seymour in a 7th-round pick for him last year. He did. He was on the roster for 4 games, and then he was released. And then he re-signed with the Panthers. in those 4 games, that was a time period where they were playing around with him and Brandon Tate. They would make Tate inactive, and they would have him return the kicks and punts.
Sure.
So that's something now. It's most likely meaning that Brandon Tate isn't going to come back.
Okay.
So that's going to be Clay's kind of role there, and be to me the 4th or 5th receiver.
Sure.
We can go down through the receivers on the roster. We have Kelvin Benjamin, Zay Jones, Rod Streeter, who I really like.
Yeah.
I think he'll have a good year this year. He had a nice preseason last year. He got injured, so I think he should be probably our number 3 guy.
Okay.
Andre Holmes and Keenan Clay, they can be a swap between 4 and 5. Brandon Riley, and then 2 guys before when we talked about Zay Jones that I missed was Malachi Dupree and Quinn Bray.
Yeah.
And because I missed them, they really haven't shown anything in the NFL. Dupree we did get from Green Bay last year. He was cut, and we signed him. He was on the practice squad for a little bit, and then they brought him up at the end of the year.
Originally from LSU, I believe, correct? Yeah. And then Green Bay now with us. Yeah.
So he was drafted by Green Bay, just didn't cut it there, and the Bills signed him. But there's not a lot of depth. There is depth there, but you know, your bottom 3 guys, there's not much to see.
Right.
Riley did have a good preseason last year, so. But he was active the last, I believe, couple games, and he didn't get any playing time.
Yeah.
Keenan Clay, he did show flashes at Carolina.
Okay.
And with the Bills, he had a couple nice plays, but I wasn't impressed with him, especially his kick return ability. At times, I thought Tate was a lot better than him, but I don't think Tate's coming back with this.
Even without what wide receiver just left? I'm sorry.
Jordan Matthews.
Yeah, with Matthews and everyone else gone, you don't think there's a way to keep both him and Tate? Do you think they're both gone, or? I
think they're 2 of the same player.
Okay.
So I think that's why I think now that Clay's coming in, I think Tate's kind of going, because if you're looking at the receivers, Benjamin a big possession receiver. Zay Jones, I believe, is a slot guy. Rod Streeter, I believe, is an outside guy.
Yeah,
he does have some
speed.
Yeah. Andre Holmes, to me, is just a big guy for down at the end zone.
Okay.
So I think that's where he's really going to be a focal point. Him and Benjamin having those 2 6'4" guys down there. You know, there's some big dudes, big bodies down there. It helps with the jump balls and stuff like that. And then Keenan Clay is, to me, more of a slot guy, shifty, kick returner, and I think that's where he'll probably fit in. He'll probably be the 5th receiver, play a lot of special teams, returning kicks, and that'll be his role.
Okay. Well, maybe now that he's permanently fixed there, maybe he'll do better knowing that he's the set guy. We'll see. But yeah, so 2 Bills signings. And now we want to talk a little bit about some visits that we received right before the draft. Very exciting for me. I don't know if you want to talk about them a little bit.
Yeah, these players are scheduled to have a pre-draft visit with the Bills. One of the guys who I liked, we talked about in our pre-draft coverage, was linebacker Fred Warner out of BYU. Athletic guy, and we both can agree we need some help there.
Absolutely.
Linebacker.
Absolutely,
Whether it's depth or a starter, because we have one starter, I feel, in Milano, and then, you know, Alexander's a role player. And he's a good role player. He plays his role good, but, you know, there can be an upgrade there, and obviously middle linebacker, that's still up in the air. With a bunch of players visiting and not signing. Let's see where that goes. And then the big name, which everybody like, and you probably like is quarterback Baker Mayfield. So.
Yeah, I still, I mean, we talked when we were in quarterbacks, Baker Mayfield's still my number 1 guy. So I'm very excited to see Baker come. But there's still so much time for the draft, you know? Like, I'm getting so excited. But
and, you know, there's 6 quarterbacks. Like, they're going to meet with the top 6 quarterbacks. They're not going to, and there might even be some more. But they're going to meet with some of their top guys. And especially all these quarterbacks, because you don't know who will drop and if we will trade up, if we can trade up.
So many questions.
Or who somebody else likes. You know, the Jets might like Mayfield, or they might like Rosen or Allen. You know, you never know. So they got to at least check all of them. And even if they meet with Baker Mayfield and he goes to the Jets, at least you have some recon on him for later years. And
we play him twice a year. Exactly. We play him twice a year, so it'd be good to know. We looked into him a little bit, so we have a little information on him, so that'd be good. But yeah, so that's all we want to talk about with those two signings, right? So we have a little more depth at least. So let us know what you think about those two signings. I mean, we'll see what happens, right?
Yeah, and there's about 69 players on the roster.
Yep.
Eric Wood is still there, so it would be 70, but with his situation, we're at 69. They go into camp with a 90.
Right.
So there's still going to be some moves out there. Not some big moves. Like we said, there's about 16 million in cap space. Going to need about 6 million for the draftees with the top 51 salaries and stuff like that. So that leaves you around 10 million. They're going to probably have 5 million or so left for in case of injuries or anything next year. So, you know, you're looking at maybe 5 or 6 more players really signing small term deals.
Yeah, you're talking about 6 players at about that 5 million number. The last thing you want is to go into the regular season with strapped for cash. You know, you want that just in case money. You know, right now, you know, knock on wood, you know, forbid, but let's say our depth chart stays the way it is, AJ McCarron goes down. Well, now we have no other quarterbacks, you know, and so, I mean, who knows? But yeah, you want to have a little money left over.
Well, and also, you know, during camps, players get cut after camps. There'll be surprise cuts, so it's something they got to keep an eye on. So you know, we say they can sign 5 or 6 players right now, but the way it counts against the cap, they can sign 10 players and still be right around the same money. But you know, your top 51 salaries only count, and if they're all signing low deals, it really benefits them.
So yeah, that's all we had for you right now. We'll be back in another episode. We'll talk about what came up this past week with the owners meeting. So we look forward to that episode. So if you haven't checked that out yet, be sure to do that. We will be here constantly giving you all the signings, the big or small. We don't care. We'll cover everything Buffalo Bills related. So if you like Bills content, if you're an NFL fan and just like this kind of stuff, just subscribe to this channel, like or dislike this video, leave a comment. Also, subscribe to us on, follow us on Twitter and Facebook. We're on Twitter and Facebook as well. Love talking to all of you. So yeah, just leave a comment about what you think about these two signings. But until next time,
go Bills.
Go Bills.